All right, well, sorry for being late, guys.
You're fine.
I'll call the Casson Park Board meeting for Tuesday, March 17th at 6 p.m. Call to order here. So, did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes? Any questions, any additives, anything?
I just want to make a comment in the, oh wait, that's last January minutes. This is 6:02. It's 6:02 right now. So, well done.
Oh,
When you
well,
called
thank
it
you.
to order, so.
Well, thank you. Okay. Well, I'll need a motion to approve the
I'll make a motion
minutes.
to approve the January minutes.
Okay, I have a motion, a second, and any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, pass. All right, new business. Boulevard Tree Program.
Let's see. So we obviously, for most of you, everyone knows about the Boulevard Tree Program. Are you aware of it? Okay. So that started, kind of got off to a slow start, but now it's picked up. I don't even want to give you an estimate of where we're at for trees, but we're probably over 20 boulevard trees. So that's good, and a lot of them are newer developments. So that's kind of where that's where Ronnie started it. He wanted to see new developments take advantage of it. So I guess really that's about it as far as the Boulevard program. I was a little concerned right off the bat, but then we had it posted on Facebook, which everyone in this area uses Facebook. So got a lot of phone calls for it after that.
Well, even with the new houses going up all around, I'm sure eventually they're
There's quite a few.
gonna start asking for them.
One of them was like Comet Acres.
Okay.
So we got a
Way up
person
there.
out of Comet Acres. So the way that works too, for some of you that don't know, Comet Acres is a little bit different style of a development versus what we have in town. We honor the Boulevard program for those folks, but we do not maintain the trees like we would for traditional Boulevard trees, just because we have to plant those trees outside our parameters for what we can reach. So, but we still honor the program.
Do they have a boulevard?
Not necessarily. Well, the problem with
Really?
There's no sidewalk.
the problem with the Comet Acres, and it's not necessarily sidewalk, it's drainage. So there's usually a drainage ditch right off the road, and our parameters is like 13 foot from center or from behind the curb. Well, you're not going to plant a tree in the middle of a drainage ditch, so we put it up into the yard. So that's kind of where we end our, responsibility of the tree.
How does that apply to private communities like South Fork and the new addition they're putting out there in the mobile home park?
So we do not do anything with those. South Fork is an HOA, so the city's not responsible for their streets or anything like that, so we don't.
Just not available to them?
Right. Now, if it becomes like if the city takes over, which there's been talk about, like taking
time.
over their electric, whatever, if it becomes our responsibility, then we would honor their program, or that program to them.
Their boulevard.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, any questions? Okay. Good. Boulevard tree trimming notifications.
Okay, so I need the board's help in this. So we try to trim trees every year. I've gone back and forth with the appropriate way to notify folks on trimming trees. I started off hanging tags, and that's, I guess in my opinion, that's a little old school because sometimes they come off the door. A lot of people don't even use their front door. And the other major concern that I have with hanging tags is trimming trees in the wintertime is our spare time. we can hang tags, but we might not get to actually trimming the tree for weeks, you know, weather depending. What do you guys think is a appropriate way to approach it? Like we had talked about, the guys and I had talked about, you know, notifying the public, like, hey, city will be trimming northeast Casson this winter. You know, if you have questions, call so-and-so. That seems to be the best way to get to the public, because there's a lot of people that could care less. So the way we try to do it is we trim street side only. If the homeowner wants the whole tree trimmed, we're more than happy to make it uniform and make it look nice. But there are a lot of people that do not want us touching their tree, but not understanding that a boulevard tree is still the responsibility of the city. And when it's hitting equipment, that's the only reason why we're trimming trees, is if it's hitting equipment, hitting mirrors, things like that. For the most part, we are very lucky to have people who want the whole tree trimmed. We'll go above and beyond to help them out, especially if there's like big branches leaning over their house. You know, we've had really good luck, but the bad ones are the ones that stick in your head, unfortunately. I just don't know the best way to approach it to keep the citizens informed without making them too upset, I guess.
It's probably, no, I understand, you know, the social media, some people don't reach out because there's a lot of people that, you know, it's what they want to look at versus, you know, outside stuff. I don't know how many people you'd reach. To me, it's just send them a letter to, you know, that each resident that has a boulevard tree. Now, it may take some time to try to figure out who gets the letter, who doesn't, because you don't want to send a letter to somebody, or you might, if they decide they want a tree. You know, if they don't have a tree or do have a tree, and say you're going to do the northeast, everybody gets their mail. Everybody has to answer it, and it's going to say, okay, here's the parameters of boulevard trees. We have, you know, the city has the right to go in and trim them back. We will help you if you want to make it uniform. Everything you just said. You know, if I were to get that letter, I was like, what is this from the city? It's like trees, boulevard trees. You know, you phrase it right in the first 3 sentences of the paragraph, then they'll understand. And then with questions, please call. But I think everybody gets their mail. So that would be a guarantee way versus hanging on a door. You know, and from there, if you have questions, call. You know, same thing. We may or may not get to your tree in the next 2 to 3 weeks, but it's
something that we
docket.
put for like the months, you know, months of December to April.
Yeah.
You know, just because that's kind of when we're working on, you know.
You don't know
spare
because of
time.
weather and,
Right.
you know, snow or no snow or dry ground or not dry ground. So
Right.
Do you try to get through all of town in those months, or are you just doing a certain area?
We just for instance, last year we did like meadows up by the school. There was well over 200 trees that we trimmed.
Yeah.
You know, that took all winter on top of our removals.
Yeah. Is there a way to send it through billing to just the locations you're going to, let's say in the next 3 months, you're going to hit 1st, 2nd, 3rd Street.
Right.
North, whatever.
So that would be something I could talk to Jess, because we've done like the Boulevard program with billing. You know, when they send the bill out, that goes out with the bill. So I just don't know how hard it would be for her to select like northeast side of town or northwest side of town.
Maybe you put, these are the areas we'll be doing from.
So it would go to everyone, but
But
it
then
would
if
be
you would like us to shape the entire tree, you need to contact us
right.
by this date.
That's fair.
Because then it gives people a chance, and if they don't contact you, then you just trim that front tree.
Yep.
Gives them notification through their bill, because most people get their bill that way.
Yep.
And that's,
well, what about the people
Costs
that don't
extra
get their bill that way? The ones that just get electronically and don't get it by
I
mail?
think there's a way to do it electronically too, though.
To attach it to the bill,
Yeah.
if they open it. Like in my case, I don't know when the last time I opened
Sure.
my city bill, because I know I run about the same every month, and it's, you know, to the point where I'll just put it in the file or I'll set it aside, so.
Well, and I guess ultimately what we could do is put it through Facebook and billing, and we've kind of covered, you know, the majority of what people are looking at, right? And then at that point,
I mean, we could send it 80 different ways and somebody still might not.
I was
Right.
just
Yeah,
going to
it's-
say that, you
right.
could
Does
say
the-
that.
Does the
yeah.
city database have a phone number listed for each of the billings they do?
you're asking the wrong
good time.
person, I guess.
That'd be a great question for Tim.
Because if we have a database that includes a phone number, when you pull up to a house to cut a tree, you send them a text. Or if you know in the morning, hey, we're gonna be doing this house, this house, this house, you send them a text or give them a call, hey, we're trimming your tree today. If you wanna ask any questions, call this guy.
Right.
And then they've all been notified the day that it's happening, and they have an opportunity to reply, if we have the database. It's 30.
Well, you got a meter hooked to every house, so I just don't know what information and how accurate or updated that information is.
My only question is if you send that text in the morning and you get to the first house and they haven't texted you back in time and then you finish trimming a tree and then they text you back, are they SOL or are you gonna go back?
Yeah, I mean, the best would be if you could do it the day before.
Oh, it's- yeah.
You can, you can't.
See, and that
I think it'd be a multiple approach. Send the letter, but then courtesy call if you can.
Kinda like when you get
Couple
your,
days ahead.
like if you get Minnesota Energy to come fix your stove, they say, hey, we're gonna be out between 8 and noon on this day. Then they call you the day before, if that's.
Well, this could be something you're gonna put out a week in advance, because you're still gonna give them a chance to reply.
See that, but that's where I'm talking.
You don't have
what
enough time.
Gets into the problem is we're not 100% certain we're going to be trimming that week. You know what I mean? It's
But if they know at least you're gonna be trimming,
right.
they've got reasons like, well, wait a second, you're when? It's like, it could be a week or 3 weeks, but you've been notified, you just read this and you just, you know, if there was a concern, please call, because in the next,
Couple weeks, 3 weeks.
within the next 4 weeks, we will be coming by to take care of the tree, or 3 weeks, so.
Is 2 weeks enough time to do a message like that, or are you guys really like not able to predict out 2 weeks?
It's tough. I mean, it really is.
It all depends on the weather.
Yeah.
And everyone here knows as well as I do, when they predict something, it's not necessarily either going to happen or it turns into a nightmare. So,
Is the only real issue wanting to know if they want it trimmed evenly, or is it worth the worry of people parking in the way?
we haven't had issues with people parking in the way. You know, for example, you know, we trim 6th Avenue Northeast. Pretty much every other person was home,
Yeah.
and pretty much every other person had fairly large limbs hanging over their house.
Yeah.
And they were more than happy for us to trim full way around the tree. And, you know, one gentleman that we trimmed his tree, he said, he called, said, hey, give me a heads up, I'll get my RV, and can you please bring up the other side of the boulevard trees so that I can get my RV under there comfortably, whatever. And then he ended up meeting us out there, and we removed 3 trees for him. So, but then it's like, then you run into a house where we did hang a tag, but they must not have received it. We were at a house before, and the gal comes out, and she's kind of watching us, and I'm like, well, you're going to be the next house that we trim, and had explained to her, you know, she's like, well, I don't want you touching my tree at all. And I said, I'm sorry, but that's not really an option. We're going to be trimming street side. If you want it to look uniform, we'll trim all the way around for you. I said, we will take as little off as possible to make sure our equipment clears those branches. But I said, just so you're aware, when you see those branches and they're clearing the truck right now, when they get leaves on them, they don't. And that's when we're out sweeping and things like that. And then she ended up calling back and saying, well, trim all the way around it. I don't want it to look goofy. But it's just, and then the other thing that kills me is whether we do removals, there's people that think it costs something, or whether we do trimming, people think it costs something. And I don't know why that is. And I feel like with Ronnie, he would have had that out to the public by now.
I mean, I wouldn't know that. I got the tree 6 years ago. Like, so maybe there need, when you send this out, just a uniform. This is a boulevard tree. This is the
No
service,
cost to the public.
but it is it's in the boulevard. We have every right to trim it. Maybe you're gonna trim them all the same way. You're gonna trim it uniform no matter what.
I mean, I would prefer that.
Just do it, and then if nobody and then say if you want it not trimmed that way, then you contact us.
Yes, that would probably be easier because there's a lot more folks that would prefer to look nice and uniform versus the folks that say don't touch
Yeah.
the other half if preferred, you know.
You should be able to put a little something in the newsletter that goes out with the building about
Right.
free.
Right.
Put big letters says free. That catches everybody's eyes, and then they'll read it. And that should,
Whether you
So-
bought the tree through the boulevard program
Right.
or not, it's in the boulevard. This is a service we provide this citizens because we maintain this area.
Well, we don't necessarily
Trees.
maintain it.
You maintain
No.
the trees.
We maintain the trees. Careful.
careful how you
because they
word
hang over
it.
the street.
The reason why they're boulevard trees is because they're planted over utilities.
Yeah.
So the reason that the city offers the program, because essentially is if like the gas company or the electric have to come in and remove the tree, we have the right to do so.
Yeah.
So if you did when, like I said, the newsletters and utility bill stuffings, at least citywide, whoever gets it, if they read, they, oh, I got a tree, so maybe something in their mind will go, at some point, someone's gonna contact me. But when you get to, 3 streets you're gonna do in a winter or whatever it is,
Right.
I think that's a separate outreach.
Right, it should be.
And I think that's kind of where the comments are, how do we, target those?
I just want to make sure, like, and I've talked to other people. I talked to, a gentleman from Dodge Center. He's like, well, we just went out and trimmed them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that
Right.
guy that goes on and just starts hacking trees and doesn't tell people why. I want to at least inform them, this is why we're doing it, and this is why we're doing it at this time. We're not looking to kill your tree or butcher your tree, but
Can you put and this is just going on a limb, yard stake with a weatherproof sign? Because they gotta mow their lawn, and they're gonna, this property or this tree or this something, we will be doing tree trimming this winter. Well, I guess that's ground frozen, so it ain't gonna work. I'm thinking, I'm saying,
How much
because,
time do you need to notify them on the day you're doing it?
well, the thing is like I'd prefer not to notify them the day we're doing it.
I'd say,
Just for the sense that like sometimes we come in the morning and I'm like, perfect day, no wind, let's go trim trees.
And temperature changes, wind changes, yeah. So I think you just do a flyer when the season's about to start, reminding people this
Just
is the
say
area.
that we're at this area
This
for
is
this
the area
year.
we're focusing on. Over the next 4 months, we will sporadically be out, weather dependent, trimming trees. If you do not want your tree uniform, you need to contact us. Otherwise, we will be trimming all sides of the tree within the boulevard. If that's easier for you, just do it that way,
Okay.
and it'll look better. And if people don't want it, then they can call and say, hey, no, I want my tree to be lopsided.
Any questions or concerns, and then at that point, they can reach out to you and say, can you take the limb down above the house? Sure.
Right.
Or, contact for questions.
No, we cannot trim the tree in your backyard.
Well, my backyard's my front yard, because I go in the back door all the time, so it's really I'm just kidding. From my backyard to my front door. Somebody's gonna say that, we never use the front door.
Do you assess which trees you're gonna cut before you go out and cut them?
Yep.
Would there be a way to put a tag on them so that the owner could see the tag and call if they had concerns?
On the tree itself.
Tree wrap or
I mean, we could potentially essentially put one of those door tags, you know, and they're green. I mean,
That way the
that's a
homeowner-
possibility,
That way the homeowner would be informed and they'd see, oh, there's something on my tree, and
right?
then if they had a concern, they could call.
My only issue is we would have to spend the money to laminate them, you know, to make sure that they're weather resistant, I guess. I mean, I don't know if that's really that big of a deal, but
That couldn't be too much of a cost, I wouldn't think.
A lot of the signs are whether, like printable paper, like for my mulch signs, and it's just a, you know, thermal printing, because there's weatherproof signs that it doesn't bleed, doesn't fade, but you'd have to do them one by one, or special order them
I don't
weatherproof.
think we Put anything on doors at this point, we've already seen how that works with other stuff, so I don't, I think either try something like that on the tree.
Well,
or-
I was just thinking like that plastic tape, you can wrap the caution tape or something. You just wrap that.
The vinyl
and
marking
put a-
tape.
Put a printed
Wrap it,
label on
tie
it.
it.
that
Sure.
says, Tree's gonna be trimmed, here's the office number or whatever.
yeah, tree trimming and then a
If
number.
you printed it on a laser printer, it'll stay out there in the weather for a couple of weeks, and if they don't see it in that time, well, then it's trim. It's not like you didn't have something there for them to see. It's on the boulevard, they ought to see it when they pulled up.
You would think, yes, yes. Okay, well, there's some ideas. I think we'll, like next year, we'll try some of these ideas, see what works, see what doesn't work. And, I mean, obviously, since I've been here, it's kind of been an ongoing battle, so. Ultimately, my goal is to upset as little as possible.
Oh, yeah.
And make people know, and I want them to understand that we're not doing this for something to do, and we're not doing this for a fee. This is our responsibility, and we're trying to save our equipment, and also it helps the tree if you trim it the right way the first time. You know, there's a lot of trees that go untrimmed and then they split. You know, maples are notorious for that. And if you were to trim it the correct way to begin with, we might not have these issues, you know.
So what if your tree is a boulevard tree planted by the city, 7 years old, and you want it trimmed now?
We would trim it if you asked for it, because we won't go out and start searching for trees to trim.
I would like my tree trimmed.
Okay. No, never know.
The one is they've all grown at different stages. One needs a trim.
I felt like you were leading into something there.
Yeah. You'll be able to tell which one.
You want me to remove the saw? Or do
No,
you
I
want
have
me
no
to
idea.
do
I
it?
have no idea. I have
Just
no idea
kidding.
what to do.
Okay.
Did you want the extra limbs to cut and like 1.5 feet pieces for firewood?
Oh,
I don't
no,
think
this
they're
is
big
a-
enough for that.
No, the tree is very tall.
Kindling.
Okay, so I can do that. Okay, well, I'll play around with some of these ideas, and we'll try some of these ideas next season.
Well, even if it's rumored in one of the newsletters, anytime, say we need some space to fill, midsummer, throw it out there.
Well, I don't, because we don't want to trim trees in the summer.
No, but you're gonna, here's what we do to boulevard trees.
Oh, sure.
FYI. So at least in the summertime, it's like, I remember I read something about that. It's like, oh, I got a boulevard tree. I got a question. Not saying they're on the list, but if you inform them 2 or 3 times a year, hopefully they're gonna see at some point. So when they are then affected, they're not gonna complain.
Right.
So if you're looking for a filler in a newsletter, here's what the city of Castle does for boulevard trees at no cost to the homeowner.
Make a video of yourself explaining it all.
I'd rather not. But thank you.
You could have a city councilman make a video explaining.
Yeah. That happens to be on park board. Okay,
Okay,
I
well,
think we're
good.
good on that.
All right, good. Arbor Day,
Arbor Day, so
date set.
thanks to Ashley, this got put on the agenda because Arbor Day will be the 24th, and we have a meeting that Tuesday before. So that's kind of pretty, it's a little too, quick or close together to plan some of this stuff. I have not really given it any thought because it's been chaotic the last few days.
Yeah.
I feel kind of,
Yeah.
I kind of feel unprepared for this meeting just because I don't even know what's up and what's down right now. But Arbor Day will be the 24th, which is the last Friday in April. I have not even thought about a location. I don't know if any of you have ideas on locations.
What are you doing for that, or what have you done?
So typically, we get the Lions Club donates, and they participate in planting 2 trees that we get from Whiting's in Rochester for Arbor Day. And it's nothing, it's really low key, I guess.
The kids liked it that one.
I know, and we should try to get them involved again. I hate speaking publicly. So,
Me too.
yeah. So, it was hard for me to want to, that's a lot of kids. But I would love to try to grow Arbor Day with the city involving more of the community. I don't know if this year is probably the year to do it. I would like to try to have a couple more meetings to actually plan something a little bit more unique, I guess, instead of just slapping something together. But first, we need a location
Okay.
on what you guys think, what parks or where you think we should.
Well, one place that's always got my, I want to say goat, but the Lions Park, County 34, where the skateboard park and stuff like that is. 15 years ago, I'm going to say, maybe more, we put those 3 trees right along the, and they've grown a foot tall in that. It's not, they've not grown, they've not done anything. And I remember digging those out, it was gravel.
Yep.
And, powers to be said, well, they'll be fine, they'll grow, and they haven't. So, not taking those trees out or leaving them there are doing any good, but get some trees back into the park, back by the picnic shelter, further back. We're hitting Lions Park again, so I don't want to, and it may not be 15 years, it might have been 10, but I know it's been
A
while, but those trees are going nowhere. And I don't think to put a tree in the same, along the boulevard there is the answer, because you're going to get the same bad soil, but get some back in the park, get some back by the pavilion.
Or East Diamond. We have that new modular there.
Yep.
Is there an area to put trees there? I think in like a year or two, we're gonna wanna look at Veterans Memorial when the new memorial comes up.
Yeah, so we got a whole load of things to unpack here. I'll start with Lions. This will kind of go down into old business. This year I talked with, heaven forbid I remember the guy's name, Sam. He is the head of the Youth Soccer Association.
Yep.
What?
Wheeland? Does W stand for?
It's a W. But anyway, we have been kind of fighting to try to get them field space. At one point, they were utilizing behind the well at Veterans Park. And that was great for the youth soccer, like young kids. For multiple fields, a lot of kids run around. Well, some of that is getting taken up with possible solar that the city will be putting in through a grant. But he's always been looking for like a U10, U11 fields, which is a little bit more competitive. And I had brought to his attention about Lions Park. Now that we have this roller that we got through joint ventures, potentially getting that field actually, or like that green space prepped for actual field use. And then after talking with Johan, we had talked about the disc park. And me and him kind of shot the breeze a little bit about actually making that disc park, I guess, a challenge rather than out in the open space. Because all it's doing is taking up space, and realistically, whether you're a real golfer or disc golfer, what do you want? Challenge. You don't want to just throw it through your disc through an open field, right? So it's kind of it's like killing two birds with one stone, I guess. It's an opportunity for me to be able to remove the disc course and work with Johan to set up something that's actually, a challenge utilizing, the woods or different spaces, and still being able to get these youth soccer fields in. I don't want to plant trees until I know what we're going to do for youth soccer, because some of the ones that are out there we might have to move, like relocate. And I will be meeting with Sam this spring to kind of like map out field space and what could work or what we might have to adjust. So I'm not sure if Lions Park is an ideal spot, but
Which is fine.
we could potentially plant some trees more, I guess,
Pickleball court area?
that or closer to the playground area,
Trying to find some better soil than up where it was, because,
Right.
from day one, I'm like, this isn't, it's like, oh yeah, it will, it's like, it hasn't.
And then going into East Diamond Park, I'd love to plant some trees out there, but until I can check all of our boxes of us being finished, we're going to put some benches out there. I have plans of us doing a pavilion between the ball field and the parking lot out there. I wouldn't mind some trees near that, but until I know where the ideal spot for a pavilion would be, I don't want to put any trees. So, not trying to bring anyone down on their location, but that's just,
No,
I guess
yeah.
that's my,
No,
Or
that's,
it doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
No, but if you're
Yeah.
going to use the Lions Park around the
I
around
think
the
Lions Park
pavilion,
around the pavilion or
or
around the playground.
playground, or even around the that
Yep.
area right there
yeah.
would work out just fine. Because it needs something out there around that.
So, let's do Lions Park.
Are we looking 3 trees?
Well, 2 for sure.
For sure, okay.
Because the Lions Club essentially buys the 2 trees. They're most of the,
Sure.
90% of the 2 trees they buy. Yeah.
Is there a reason we go through Whiting's?
Yeah, because they have the trees at that time.
Local.
I've tried to go local,
It's hard, yeah.
but they don't have them in yet. So,
No, understandable. I just ask for someone else that might ask.
yeah.
So, yeah, why don't we do that then? If everybody's in favor of the Lions Park, no concerns?
And it helps, it's the Lions Club donating. So.
Yes.
Yeah, it does, and, they do a lot for the city anyway, so we might as well just,
Okay.
go it there, and then, assume you'll get in touch with them and
Yep.
let them know what's going
Yeah.
Cool.
It's hard to imagine that that's right around the corner.
on, isn't it? Well, after what just happened.
I know.
Yeah, it's like, great.
Yeah, we're only 4 weeks away, so
Yeah.
ground still might be froze.
Good thing they dig the hole.
Okay, all right, anything else on that? We're good?
Yeah, we're good on that.
Okay. Festival in the Park, staffing.
Oh, and by the way, for Arbor Day, anyone's welcome to come.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just Lions. So, if anyone is available and would like to be there, it will get posted, so.
Usually it's like 10 a.m. or something, isn't it?
Yep. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine.
So, Festival in the Park staffing. So, Christine Purvis had reached out to Ashley. Was that you that she reached out to? Okay. Her son will be participating in something else like the strongman competition. So, he is not available to do the garbage during festival.
Oh,
Her husband, Todd, from my understanding, is the one that will be available. Son-in-law. Okay. Her son-in-law will be available to do the garbage, so he'll be a lone ranger. I don't know if we've ever really visited what they're paid. Last year they were paid $20 an hour. So I guess Christine was wondering if we could bump him up to $25 an hour to do the garbage during the festival.
Do we need to post then if we're gonna raise the, if we're gonna raise it, do we need to post it?
That I don't know. That sounds like a council thing.
Cause if you're asking for a raise,
Are you asking for a raise because he's one person, or
Right.
if you get somebody else, it'll stay at 20?
I guess Chris, from my understanding, Christine is asking for the 25 because he's one
He's going to be
person.
the only person.
Really, at this point, he thinks he's gonna be doing a solo.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'd say, yeah, but with the stipulation that if he finds somebody else, it goes back to 20.
I mean, ultimately, this will have to go through council anyhow,
Yeah.
right?
But
It was one of those cases that, if he happens to find friend or buddy to come with and let's both do this, and then we're both gonna get $25 an hour, right, that's where,
Yeah.
we gotta be cautious that all of a sudden, by the way, there was two of us, since when, right, so.
remind me again why we pay that and the festival committee is not.
I have no idea.
I
It's always
couldn't
been
tell you.
paid by the city council.
Here's the deal, Ryan. You've been here longer than me and Ashley.
I know, but I think it's just
always,
I'll ask Tim. I'm gonna ask
Okay.
Tim, cause if they're running it, why would the city pay someone additional funds when we could just have our staff go out there and clean it up
Because you would pay your staff more.
on overtime on the weekend?
Yes. That I know that was an
Yeah,
issue.
definitely.
but that's where the Festival in the Park Committee has to
So
have,
then they should cover the
their
cost
own-
of that cleaning,
right.
since they're renting the park area. When they pay for toilets, they pay for all kinds of other stuff. We already give them money for the event, I think that's something, I'll talk to Tim.
Okay.
Okay.
So table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because, what's stopping any other organization that rents out a city street for a weekend for a event, asking us to pay for the cleanup too?
Cleanup, yeah.
Right.
How's that any different? I never questioned it until the price went up too, so. Okay. Sorry, it never really
No,
crossed
but
my
it's,
mind, like,
but
why do we
sometimes
pay?
it's.
I don't think
that's
we've
just how
ever
it's
brought
been.
that up though.
No.
You know what I mean? Ever since I've been here, Christine had her son and son-in-law or whomever it was, had them doing it. I know before I was in my position, it was a struggle for Ronnie to get people to volunteer, or well, I mean, they were paid, but to get people to do that.
'Cause realistically, Friday, your staff are working during the day, so they could clean it up, they could clean up Friday,
Till 3:30.
till 3:30. Saturday's the big events, Sunday's usually the parade.
Which is, it still gets
Yeah.
pretty
Gets
busy
pretty
up
bad.
there.
They shove it up, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if you want to talk to Tim and revisit
Yeah.
that, or at least to figure out why things are the way they are, great.
And that'd be something, all the garbage will be taken back to the garbage refuses back in probably the parking lot, which does the city that pay for
The city pays
that,
for the dumpster. that is
the
used.
dumpsters?
The city goes and gets the garbage cans from the fairgrounds. We've done that for the last few years.
Yep.
It used to be Hometown Haulers would support us with the garbage cans until they sold. We allow the staff that is picking up garbage use our utility vehicle to pick those garbage cans up
Okay.
and bring them to the dumpster. So,
Realistically, we're just talking about 20 hours of work, max.
yeah, something, I mean, that might be a little high even, but yeah,
So we're just talking about $300, $400.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, that $25 an hour is pretty reasonable these
Yeah.
days.
that, I mean, I'm surprised there wasn't an ask for higher to
It
begin
just
with.
seemed to be in the past, it was, when Ronnie was working, trying to get it done. It was always hard to find, it was difficult to find anybody, pay or not pay, without paying a city employee time and a half,
Yes.
or double time, however that works.
do it.
To do it.
Yeah.
And, so, but you get Christine and her son, or, we've always somehow found to get somebody that's willing to do it, but it's like pulling teeth.
I just don't want to get to the point where we're paying so much and not giving an opportunity for someone to apply that money. Because you're saying, well, it's $20, you might get 2 applicants. You say it's 25, you get 4, you do 30, it's 10. The more you offer, the more people you might get. If we are just saying, hey, you have the job, and yeah, we'll give you this raise, they're not actually an employee of the city right now. They're seasonal, if that. When we bid out for other contracts, we have to allow others to apply or bid for it. Is this any different? Maybe the value isn't that much, so we don't have to, but I just don't want to approve just saying, all right, we're going to give you a raise, even though what's the merit of it? It's not based on how well they're doing. It's still getting cleaned. It's just the fact that they're doing it on their own.
Well, there are times that it didn't get cleaned enough. Garbage is coming out of garbage, and, but again, that's the person you're hiring. Are they there at the right time, or are they just going in the morning and coming back late afternoon? By that time, all the garbages are full and overflowing because of paper waste and cups. I mean, that's the other thing, is like, are they gonna look at, it's like you're paying me $25 or $20 an hour, and I'm there, 7 hours a day, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. Yeah, I find out from Tim to see what he says first. But I think a higher dollar would probably I'd like to think would get you a little bit more of a.
Better help.
Yep, and even if it's 2 people, it's not that big a deal. But still, why is the city paying for it, not the festival in the park paying for that labor? We're paying for the dumpsters. We're paying for the, letting them use the four-wheeler to get
I
it
will
around.
tell you this. When they move out and come Monday morning, that park is pretty much spotless.
Okay.
So I would rather have the city pay for someone to do something that actually helps us out come Monday morning, rather than my guys having to spend 2 hours picking up trash in the park.
Because
and then picking up the barricades and all that stuff.
We're going to have to pay city staff regardless of how much they have to.
Okay, we need to move on from
Yes.
this. I think you need to talk to Tim.
I
See
already know.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then we'll go from there.
okay,
All right.
Festival of the Park is a ways out yet.
Yes.
We're looking
Thank
at
God.
August, so it's March.
This is fun today.
okay.
All right. Old business. Gas and Aquatic.
Okay, I gave everyone, I think, right? I gave you guys the new employee list. I definitely didn't review it.
I did. Question mark. I can't see that font anyway, so you're good.
You're fine. So that is the new employee list. Not a lot's changed. Linda gave me her up to date on everyone's certifications. So we have a full roster,
Okay.
a very full roster, which is great. The highlighted folks on there are the ones that have not they did not get passed through council because they had not been on the list at that time. I'm setting up a meeting with our manager, David, to meet with Ashley to get into my rec, so that he can try to get familiarized with that. And then I'm going to be working with Brad Gunderson, our MMUA safety guy, to set up when he's available come May for the all staff safety meeting where they come in and get the safety stuff from Brad, and then I discuss some of the things that I want to see for the season, and then the more senior staff trains everyone in that day. So it's a full day for those guys on a Saturday.
Sure.
Are we set on salaries now? We don't have to change that anymore,
Correct.
or we don't have to do anything? Okay.
Yep, that was passed through council when we did the first list of
All right.
staff.
Good.
Are any of the lifeguards looking to add the WSI that are not already on the list?
Some of them, so this is kind of where I've kind of, it's hard because I don't know who gets certified throughout the year. Some of these lifeguards go and get certified during the summer, and obviously they contact Linda because that's a pay increase for them.
Yeah.
But then I don't get that information until Linda sends it to me. So, and I don't re-interview existing lifeguards, if that makes sense. So I only interview the new position folks.
So
So,
they've already been an employee, they are back if they reapply.
correct. Unless they are applying for a new position. Yep.
So how do you get that information out to all lifeguards that you want to know as soon as they're certified so that you can add that?
That would be more or less for Linda to send that information to me. And that's on me, not Linda. That's on me to ask for it.
Some of them are expired, are going to expire.
Yep, and all those, so I have everyone on this list in an email thread where they are able to get the information on getting certified or recertified. And that information has been sent out to every employee that is up for certification or needs certification. So,
Okay.
And David Voller, he's the adult that's,
he is
Can
the
oversee?
school teacher, correct?
yep.
Okay.
Yep. Seems very excited. I'm very excited. I don't know.
It'll be a good change.
It's going to be
Yeah.
a good change.
Yep.
This kind of leads into, so I send all the new lifeguards or lifeguards, I just send everyone that is a lifeguard, WSI, or new lifeguard, the information for getting certified or recertified, even the assistant managers who are all certified. We have in the past done certification at the Casson Pool, and that's lifeguard certification or recertification, okay? This is kind of going into other bullet points, but we have opened Memorial Weekend in the past. I think we tabled it. The reason why, for sure this year, I think we table it is school isn't done till after the first week of June. So that's opening for a week and then closing for the week. And we, as maintenance staff, have some pretty large projects to do in the aquatic center. One of them being the resurfacing of part of the lap pool. So that kind of would give us another week to get that done, weather pending.
Has the middle school reached out to you to have their, is it 7th or 8th grade swim at the pool again this year?
No, not yet.
They're going to, so just be aware of that. They plan on doing that again this year.
Okay.
That's their last day event.
And that's end of June though, right? Or not end of June, but
It's the last
first week of June.
Yeah.
Your epoxies have to have 70 degrees to cure, don't they?
Nope. So this is a different epoxy. It's the minimum temperature it needs to be through the evening is 45 degrees.
Oh, wow, that's advanced.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now this is no professional grade. This is there's great reviews on it. For us to properly do it, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars, okay, for the pitting in the pool. This is a way for us to try to do it and see how it works before we spend that money. But there are some other maintenance items that I would like to try to get done. In weeks or years past, we've had to essentially have the pool filled, heated 2 weeks in advance to opening week because we do certification. It would be more ideal if I could do certification over that Memorial Week and weekend.
Do you have an estimate on how much you'll lose by not having it open?
No.
'Cause
I look at like last year. The only nice day last year was Memorial Day.
yeah,
That weekend was terrible. But I can tell you we're going to lose a lot more money having the pool open the 2 weeks prior to Memorial Weekend and heated.
okay. No, yeah, if it's not going to lose you money, I don't see an issue.
I don't think it's going to lose us any more money.
Yeah.
No.
Memorial Day's on the 25th. Your school's not out until when?
June 5th.
5th?
5th
So
or 6th, whatever.
you'd be opening up on the 6th then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Our
yeah,
school's out on the 18th
Of June?
Or May.
of May.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, well, we start in mid-August, so.
yeah, well, I don't see any issues with that, buddy.
Have you run it by Tim? Do you need to run it by Tim?
Tim and I have had that discussion for the last couple years now, since what was last year the first year they did June. It was
Yes,
June.
usually we're done.
So I think me and Tim had that discussion the year before that when you had brought it to our attention. It's like, hey, school's actually now going to be let out this date. So we had talked about it in years past. I think he's more than happy to be on board with that.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to make a motion on that, or we should?
I think we
or
should make a motion
on that. Just to let Tim and council know, hey, we're for it.
Yeah.
So what is the
Okay.
date you want to?
So it would be that Friday. So what would you say it was?
Friday's
the
the
6th?
5th, Saturday's the 6th.
So we do open the 6th for that
Open
weekend.
on the 6th.
That's open to the public swim.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so, okay. Well, I'll need a motion for the aquatic center to open up for the public swim on the 6th of June.
Will it still be open for that middle school day before that?
So would that be the 5th?
I think it's the day before that, because they didn't have school the next day.
Fourth.
Can't,
So it'd be the 4th?
probably.
Okay. Because I remember last year
Yeah,
I
it
had to
wasn't the
find
last day of
I
school.
had to find staff for
Yeah.
that.
So
So
I'm pretty sure they wanted to do that again, but they should,
they should contact me.
yes. I can't remember if it was 7th or 8th.
I don't have a problem doing that.
If the pool's ready,
It will be, because if we're going to open that weekend,
yeah.
it better be ready, otherwise I got bigger problems.
Yeah.
It will just be staffing, but until they contact me, I'm not holding it,
Yes.
So it'd be open the 4th then for the school
Yes.
event, but then open to the public on the 6th.
Yes.
That Saturday. So,
So I move that we set our opening day for the pool on June 6th, the potential opening for a school event on the 4th.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. First and second, any more discussion? Oh, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay. You got it, the 6th.
Perfect.
Good.
I know
Your
I'm-
lifeguard certifications, you've been through that already?
Yep.
Is that all you
So
need
so
anymore?
actually, I will talk to Rachel, who has done it at our facility. I actually reach out to her just to make sure she was available to
Mm-hmm.
do it again at our facility this year. I will reach back out to her and kind of tell her our game plan of opening, and kind of she does really good job of drawing up a schedule for kids. And in years past, she takes as many as our kids that need it, that time works for, and then she will even take outside kids, so like kids from Dodge Center and things like that. So, which we're more than happy to help with.
Okay, good. Okay, well, I'm going to do something a little different here because I really need to get back to work.
Go.
So I'm going to hand it over to you.
I don't
And
like
you-
that.
Well,
Okay.
we discussed this, and I'm going to head on out.
Okay. Well,
So-
thank you.
Well, thank you. So, thank you. I
Thanks, Chuck.
appreciate it.
Make good choices.
I will see you
Oh,
Thursday.
Yes, I will see you Thursday at
Okay,
7, or a
okay.
little bit before,
Yeah, okay.
because we're going to have to figure out, well, you'll discuss it with them. We've
Yep.
got to figure out what to do with that.
Yep, I got some ideas, so.
Okay. Do you want me to sign that there? Okay.
You get a chance.
Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah, thank you guys for showing up. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ooh, the big guy chair.
I want to feel important.
Thor's hammer.
There you go. Thank you.
Does it actually get used during council meetings?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to talk some
We're
smack about
gonna
you.
wait till you left. Okay, everything Chuck just said, we're gonna back up and
You know, Ryan's reminded me of that before. So the next item is revenue ideas. To be honest with you, I think we table some of these ideas just for the sole purpose of us having a new manager. I don't know if I want to throw too much at him. There might be some things that we could add into the aquatic center throughout the summer. You know, we don't necessarily have to talk about them now, but we could. There's ideas that we could probably utilize during the summer that aren't affecting our new manager too
so
much.
would that be something, so as we talked about, like during the fair,
Yes,
you know,
Great
have a
example.
separate company say, well, I'm willing to book the pool for $1,000 or whatever, and they can bring in their own family and,
yeah.
Could we invite the new pool manager to a park and rec meeting, say in May or something, and just have a little brainstorming session with him?
I'd be happy to do that.
And just make some suggestions and get his ideas bouncing back, or her ideas, his or her ideas?
Him.
Him?
David.
Yeah, just have him come, then we can all just bounce a few ideas and see what they think.
I have one.
Sure.
It's the having the dogs that last.
No, no.
Such a fast no.
was that open for discussion, or?
No, that's not. That's
Is this where the hammer comes on?
That's 100% a no.
Non-shedding dogs.
No, because then you're discriminating.
No, that's true. Only fair to all dogs.
So cats,
Um,
cat shed? Never mind.
I think that's fair. I think we could have David come to a meeting and just maybe bounce some ideas off him, and just kind of see what he thinks.
Well, and some ideas that we've already talked about, like, 'cause like I said, during the fair, yeah, it's or Festival in the Park. Was it Festival in the Park also? No, I think that was used.
I can only imagine that we told some food vendors, hey, we're gonna do this event on July 17th, is the right date.
Right.
That you get some food vendors that wanna pull up their truck into the park but I also, like you said, you wanna have them prepared for all this and, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You
I'm
may
just
have some great ideas right off the bat, being a teacher. Here's all kinds of things.
we might be very surprised.
Right.
Absolutely.
But get them to come and brainstorm, and like I said, we can always put things in easily, rather quickly with a
Yeah, and I don't think, we're not looking obviously to reinvent the wheel here. I think some of these ideas can be easily implemented without 6 months' notice.
Well,
So-
again, it all goes back to that fair week where, all the kids are doing rides, they're not really swimming. So it's the downtime, it's probably the less income of the pool,
It is.
or less capacity of the pool, where you got all these lifeguards sitting around just waiting, and it's like, well, so book it out.
It'd be nice if we could utilize it on that weekend to even out of towners or, like you said, a business. If they want to rent the whole facility, have their, how McNeelius does it. They have a McNeelius Day where
Right, at the
their
fair,
staff can bring their family and go to the demos or whatever's that Saturday and ride rides and.
Yeah, but also use a pool at that point if they
Right.
want to expand it, sure.
Well, I guess first things first, I'll me and Ashley will try to get David comfortable with the MyRec software. And then I'll see where he's at and see if he's available to come to a meeting, and then we can bounce some ideas off him.
Okay.
You will not be at the next meeting. Okay. Lions Park improvements, we've kind of already hit that topic. Just to kind of rehatch it, it'll be for youth soccer this fall, obviously not this spring. I'm hoping that we can get that field space into shape. There's a lot of plans for the Parks Department this year as far as trying to get some projects started and done. And me and you will have to spend a little more time together about maybe trying to develop a new course for disc golf. I'm not saying it's going to get done this year, but if we could get something kind of in the scheme, because we might have to do some, trimming of trees or clearing some space for, a disc lane or whatever. I'm be kind of excited to do that. So
I think we can get some volunteer help with that, but I wonder, do you have a survey or something, some kind of a map that I can go over with some people, we can draw out a proposal?
like an overhead map
Yeah.
with
With-
property lines.
With lines and any kind of, what I would want is some kind of footage demarcation, so that I can know, okay, this is
X amount of
something
feet.
to scale,
Okay,
so I can
okay.
have some idea of how many feet it is.
I will
We'll
see.
just try to walk it out with a group of disc golfers and bring something to you, and then we'll probably have to modify it from there and see what's practical. I did hear at the last council meeting that we have a bridge in storage. If there was one more bridge across that creek, or we can make a kicker walking path
Yeah.
/ disc golf course.
So that's kind of been a debate, I guess, as far as the walking bridge that is currently over, just to the west of the old car wash or the old brewery. I was told that was an arm and a leg to get put in there and cost a lot of money
We
to
could
get put
probably
in
use
there.
that in the disc golf course.
Right.
It is.
But to get a new one put in of that, it sounded like there was a lot of stipulations that went into have to, because it's crossing an actual creek versus, like a drainage ditch or anything. So we'll have to do some research on that, because I just don't want to put something in and then in the long run we get in trouble for it.
Sure.
Seems to me it was, when you get the DNR involved,
Yes.
that's where the hoops came in on that bridge. I think we got the bridge, I don't want to say almost given to us, or.
Yeah, we got two of the same bridges when
Yeah.
when Bert was Public Works Director, from my knowledge.
And I think that's where it goes back.
I know they're working on the flood mitigation plan for that section of the creek.
Yeah.
And you might be able to work in putting a bridge into that same schematic, same environmental.
Sure. I see. Yep.
Evaluation, and just,
Maybe they can get it worked in there, and it's like, we got a structure, we just need the okay as they're mitigating,
exactly.
so.
Anyway, I don't want to take up much time with it, but if I can get a map, or even just anything that I can print and then.
I for sure can get you an aerial map with boundaries as far as like property boundaries. The footage part might be a little bit harder, but I can talk to some people and see if I can get some of
I
that.
can work it with Google Earth too. I just,
Right.
If you already have something, send it to me. If you don't, I'll.
Okay. Okay. Fair. Okay. Lastly, Casson Veterans Memorial update. So, I forgot my piece of paper, but we did get a commitment from Bigelow's for 10 grand. We have a commitment from the city through the liquor store funds of 30,000. So that right there puts us at 80, roughly.
Believe we are a couple from the city side.
And as far as the city goes, like discussing it with Tim says, I'll give you guys this, this full calendar year. Let's push for donations and contributions, and then after that, let the city take over and let's get this done. The biggest discussion was to start the construction or deconstruction or decommission of the old one and tear out the same volleyball court and start getting the footings and the layout for the new memorial in place. We figured that having citizens or businesses seeing an actual thing take place, something tangible, that they will be more willing to donate to the.
Knowing it's in action.
Yes.
keep it going, yeah.
The difficult decision, which Chuck bailed out on conveniently, is he talked to the Legion 2 weeks ago, and they had a meeting about the project. And the meeting was, what do you guys want off the old memorial? To give to the Legion. Well, they want the memorial. So they want one of two things. They want us to either move the memorial to the Legion, or for us to incorporate the existing memorial into the new memorial.
They don't want to lose the ones there.
Correct. So Chuck and I actually have a meeting with them this Thursday. And we need to discuss with them. So this is them relaying the information to Chuck and Chuck relaying it to me. So until I hear it from all the members of the Legion of exactly what they're looking for, I can't really give you guys any more.
So this is new from them, correct?
That was not something that was originally planned. Originally, it was thought that they might just want the placards off the existing memorial.
Okay.
But if they're really stuck on keeping the existing memorial or trying to incorporate it into the new memorial, that's more money that's going to cost for the new memorial, because
That's not light.
there's right now there's no feasible way to move that memorial because it's deteriorating. All the bricks on the bottom side are starting to fall out. You will not move that in one piece to a new location without it just completely falling apart.
And somebody rebuilding it from scratch to.
So then you're going to have to hire someone to do that, right?
Dealt with that with the front of the pool area, trying to build all that. I don't want to rehash that kind of stuff.
The wall?
Yes.
Yeah. So the other option is, okay, leave it there and try to fix the bricks that have deteriorated out of it with more Chicago-style type brick and incorporate it into the new memorial.
But that's not even plans that we've even planned for.
No.
So I don't, to me, I don't think that's even an option. To start all over
I
again
just-
is really what we're doing.
What I want to be very diligent about how I approach this situation, because the Legion has been the biggest backer for this committee and this project. I don't want to offend anyone, but at the same time, I want them to be realistic about this project. I mean, I would be happy to demolish the memorial and save things that they would like to incorporate into the new memorial, because we could find a way to do that. But to save their entire memorial or to relocate it is very unrealistic.
We're talking about that wall.
No. We're talking,
Fireplace looking thing.
it's,
I'm
It's-
trying to look up pictures, and all I see is.
Should be able to see it on that
There's the
map up
wall,
there.
There's the plaque.
Behind you.
well, yeah, what do you got to, you're going to need a magnifying glass.
Well, you could point to where that,
here's the park. Is it this they wanna move?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where that little,
Yeah.
yeah.
This-
Okay, so it's not the wall, it's not the.
The wall's right.
Nothing to do with the wall.
Right.
Here you go on. So that's
That little thing.
this stone thing here. So
Is it
each
all
one
on-
of those is a branch of the government, and then that's like their, I can't remember what's all on it, but they want that relocated or incorporated.
I got you, okay.
I'd say go look at it, but it's probably buried in snow at this point.
Could you get a cost estimate for real, just to show them how much? Because sometimes it might help to have it like, hey, it's gonna cost $50,000 to pick this thing up and move it, like.
So that's why Chuck and I are going to meet with them, like I said, this Thursday. So I'd like to, I guess, pick their brain more on exact details on what they're
Where
looking
they're
for.
gonna put it and how they're gonna reuse it, and what happens if it gets damaged worse in transit, or then we use it.
I'm not sure where they'd put it along Main Street, in their parking lot.
The whole area, yes, I would say.
And is the slab got rebar?
That I don't know. I mean, I would assume so, but I don't know that.
If the whole slab had rebar and can be moved as a piece, a 10 by 10 piece of concrete and a big payloader, you could move it.
Yeah, but I don't know because it was built.
If it
A long
doesn't
time
have
ago.
rebar, there's not a ghost of a chance you're gonna. get it.
Right. I don't know for sure. But like I said, I want to meet with them and hear.
Hear a little bit more on what their expectations are.
Yes.
And if it's somewhat of a new board at the Legion and all of a sudden they say, we think we need a bigger piece of this pie, well, then raise some more money to help accommodate that or something. I don't know. I don't.
And explain that we're pretty far into the phase of this where it's disappointing that this wasn't brought to us when the process started. Because now the city's on board, having not known that that's what they wanted.
Right.
I would have the practical conversation with them to say, hey, look, we'll move this and we'll bring out a big payloader and we'll try to lift it. If it's got rebar, we might be able to get in one piece, in which case we'll bring it right over and drop it off for you. Thanks for saving us the trouble. But understand that when we do this, we don't know what it's made out of, and that concrete might crack. And when it cracks, if it does, we'll bring you that centerpiece and you can do whatever you want with it. But we can't guarantee because we don't know how it's constructed. I think the practical conversation with them may help them say yes. You just say, hey, this is what's practical for us to do.
Right.
Without spending, if you brought in a professional mover, you could probably get somebody to move it for $15,000.
Right. And that doesn't even repair it. That's just
Right.
moving it,
Exactly.
I get the purpose of wanting to keep it in some fashion. I also like the idea of repurposing it with the new one somehow, if that's more feasible.
Well, that would probably be better, like to build
Yeah,
some of these placards into, it's like, here's some placards. Let's put the old placards into the new one with,
Let me just, like I said, we need a little more information on it. I wanted to share with you because that was the latest that I've gotten from the Legion. Obviously, knowing that I will have a meeting with them this week yet, but
okay.
it's always good to bounce some ideas off you guys and hear some other opinions or what you guys are thinking. So at least I'm not going in there with what I'm thinking only. It's good to hear other people's perspective on it. So even
Well,
though
like I
mine
said,
was
We'll find out more what they're thinking.
right.
Maybe it's the conversation we truck to you and, it's like, well, and they may say that's not really what we mean, but, right. So you have a good conversation with them.
Fair.
I agree.
Yeah, they've been our biggest backer, obviously, so far. And last thing I want to do is upset a bunch of them, So we'll see what they say Thursday, and we'll go from there. Well, that's all I got. I don't know how the rest of this part goes.
Correspondence? Does anyone have any correspondence?
Oh, does anyone have any correspondence?
I'm just trying to figure out what the next date is of the next meeting.
It is the 20th.
Third Tuesday of the month.
21st. I was close. It's the 21st.
I got all kinds of stuff, but not the calendar. Darn phone. Oh, wait, what was that? No. Okay. Yeah, I don't have, I did look into, because we talked about like the point of sale system that we have, and do you want to upsell to the nearest
Yep.
dollar to donate? Got a hold of two people, and they're not quite sure yet if I could do that to where, the programming and, one would think a simple point of sale is, a worldwide company that we deal with should have an answer, yes, we can, or no, we can't, but, so I'm still working on that.
Okay.
As in, raising some funds for the pool, or whatever it may be, would you like to, for that month or 2 months, so, still working on that.
Okay, I guess keep me posted on it. If something changes,
Yeah,
let me
I
know.
will. At this point, it's without paying a fee to someone, what's the cost, but like I said, if it isn't a cost, it's better tracking stuff. I'll definitely let you know when I find something different.
Okay.
So.
Anyone else got anything? Me and you will have to meet soon, I guess. It might not have to be before our next meeting in April, but once we start getting this discourse thing and soccer thing under control, I'd like to really sit down and let's figure out what can work. Because you probably have the best reach to the disc golf community, at least throughout this town. So I want them to see if they see us start tearing out, nets and stuff. I don't want them to be upset. I want them to understand that we have plans.
Right? Well, it'd be nice to have something laid out.
Yeah.
And start doing that to show.
I will work on getting you a map and seeing if we can't get something put together.
You got my email, right?
Yep.
Okay. Shoot me something.
Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Dinner.
Okay, we're good.
Motion granted.
Carried.
Boy, twice in one night.
Yeah, I really wanted to do that.
If you have time for that